So out of curiosity, I haven't really been following E3 too closely. This is, if you're watching this in the future, June 13th, right after E3. Apparently, Bethesda's getting a lot of flack for focusing almost their entire presentation on Skyrim. And paid mods, again, they're bringing back. It's rough. It's a really hard problem because I can understand why you would want to set up a system where you can reimburse mod makers for their work. I read a little bit on Reddit. I guess they were thinking about actually hiring mod makers so that they're paid directly by Bethesda and they work together with Bethesda and stuff. Which doesn't seem that bad, so I'm curious what the scope of the frustration is with Bethesda. I know that they got a lot of goodwill after coming out with Skyrim. They squandered a lot of it, it's my understanding at least, on Fallout 4, which doesn't sound like it was too well received by the core Fallout fan community. That's everything there is to get here for now, right? Clearly knocking something over. It sounds like they're maybe trying to ride too hard on the positive reception for this game, focusing too much on it. So I got that argument in the previous Valve paid mod scenario. The current one, though, my understanding of it at least, was that no existing mods are going to be rolled into the creative studio thing, that it's going to be all new content that existing modders are going to be working on. So I'm curious to what extent people are just freaking out that the sky is falling, right? And to what extent there's actually a severe issue here. So it seems to suggest that I should be going up to progress here, but I don't see a way to get up there. I don't have a way to super jump. I can use my shout charge ability, but it doesn't let me go up. I wonder if this is a case of ladder blindness or something. There's a switch I need to pull somewhere. No one reading the details is yelling about it, so you think it is knee-jerk. Okay. That makes sense. I think the system of, hey, we understand that we can't take existing mods and suddenly charge you for them, so instead we're going to make a system for creators to start making paid mods now. Is a very different situation. So this is where I'm supposed to go for the main story, but it appears that when I go in there, there's not a way to progress further. I don't want to spend the whole session stuck here. Oh, hello. What's up? How's your Tuesday/Wednesday treating you, man, guys? Please don't accidentally kill Lydia here. Oops. 75% faster. I think that's the amount I have right now, but I can check here. There's a wall in there that I can use. Okay. I think it's the main story quest that I'm on. I can confirm here in a second. Yeah, they have the horse armor thing, right? The classic OG controversy. Oh, it's an ash pile because I burned them to death. That's funny. How have you been so far with the effects?
Huh?
Yeah, Valve like consumed a ton of goodwill in the space of like a day. I remember people going from like the goofy Gaben worship thing to like hating Valve and Gabe. There was an interesting post from Gabe about it after everything was said and done, where he was like, yeah, internet, you will lose any and all goodwill you have. I think I'm stuck in here. There we go. I think there's a wall somewhere here where I can open up and get through, maybe. Just like a door that opens. Maybe there's a switch near it or something. Yeah, I think Nintendo won 3 this year. Bring up the map. Thanks for the heads up. I hadn't considered using the map to look around. So that goes back to Skyrim, which is where we don't want to go. It says it's like directly behind me, and I can see it if I look up. There's clearly a path up there, but I don't know how to get up there. Down here? Oh, there's a tunnel down here. Holy shit. Thank you for the tip. Appreciate it, Dividend. Good looking out. See if I can confirm what I'm currently wearing. Oh wow, yeah, well, hold on, cultist mask. Oh, my kingdom for better inventory management. So that's why you get a mod, right? Studios, Animax published the new Doom last year. It's very well received. Wolfenstein is also good. Yeah, I heard the new Doom was great. Did a lot of cool stuff with like still being a modern shooter without having regenerating health. I went in the console and increased the carry weight. I don't find carry weight to be terribly interesting in Skyrim or Fallout. It's interesting in Fallout 1, but not in this game. It's pretty much just a time waster because it's trivial to fill your inventory and then just walk outside and fast travel, deposit it or sell it, and go back. It's just a question of like, are you willing to waste the time doing that, yes or no? It's been a subject of discussion each time that we've played Skyrim. Still haven't really come up with a way to do encumbrance in a way that's interesting. The closest I've seen is probably Breath of the Wild. That's less of an encumbrance system and more of like a specific weapon, bow, and armor limit. You're still unlimited in the amount of trivial goods that you can pick up and carry. The amount of loot you could find overall in Fallout was much less interesting, and the fact that there wasn't a fast travel and the amount of time passing in the game was very relevant meant that it was an interesting decision whether to pick something else up or take it. But time passage seems more or less irrelevant in Skyrim and the later Fallout, Bethesda directed games. The fuck? I don't know what just damaged me. Freaked me out though. Quick save. Really remind myself of the button for that. Did just save, so I can try to find it. F5. Brilliant. Stepped on a skull and the ragdoll effect damaged me. It's fine. Serious focus on Doom. Are all the Doom games good? Would you say they're all awesome? I feel like the original Doom is one of those kind of more important than it is good, but it is still pretty good. Jerk. I think I've asked this in a previous session, but how possible is it to get to a point where you have effectively unlimited mana And like how late game of a goal is that to achieve? Imagine it's pretty possible. Yeah, the like Diablo inventory system where different pieces of loot take up different sizes and you have to fit things in there. I think I prefer that too, just having an arbitrary number. I think that the way it works in a game like that is it compels you to use things, actually use your healing items, that sort of thing. Whereas Skyrim just has so much general loot spam, like it would do better to get rid of most of that junk. I guess Fallout 4 had an interesting solution where you were interested in certain pieces of salvage because you could break them down into usable crafting materials. And I think you can do a lot of that in the field. Hey Raker, how you doing? It's a zombie. Because you're constantly using the stuff that's in your inventory. Doom 3 is weak. Doom 3 is the one that's like, they tried to reinvent it as a dark, as in like literally dark, serious horror game. All the parodies about like the main character just taping a flashlight to their gun because you couldn't use them both at the same time. Now it's a trap. Delightful. Chex Quest. Yeah. The other Doom clone is was it Super Noah's Ark 3D for the Super Nintendo? The only like significantly pressed pirated games for the NES and the Super Nintendo were pirated Christian games. It was there's a Noah's Ark game, a Moses game. Spiritual Warfare was actually a fairly decent Christian Zelda clone that I owned as a kid. But they were all pirated to get around Nintendo's quality control. Super Noah's Ark 3D was the way they got around the SNES DRM to publish a game without Nintendo's permission was to mirror the Game Genie for the Super Nintendo. So it's like an actual modified Game Genie cart that you have to plug a different game into to play. And there's also Bible Buffet, that's true. Hey dude, you wanna come down here? Okay, so they made a remade version of it that lets you use both a gun and a flashlight. I wasn't sure if how much of that was an intentional design decision. Kingdom for ability to highlight interactable, which is super swell. Mage versus mage combat. Compelling is the best word to describe it. I do like the skilling system in this game. It feels satisfying to do basically anything, so you can raise your skill. Oh yeah, that's funny, Spiky. Those are some of the very few games I actually owned as a kid. I had all of the Bible games for the NES. I think the Angry Video Game Nerd did a review of all of them. Spiritual Warfare, like I said, is actually pretty good. It's a Zelda clone. It's really hard. Good puzzles though, decent gameplay. The rest of them are usually Mario 2, like Doki Doki Panic clones, and were quite bad, especially the Noah's Ark game. Hello. Now, does destruction magic only level up if you're using it productively, or can you just stand and breathe fire at nothing to grind level it? Try going this way. conduct. Okay. Oh, hello. Spooky skeleton. You're a jerk. Are there potentially unlimited enemies in the game? Like, are there infinitely respawning skeletons or bandits or things like that? I assume that if you're crazy enough, you could eventually get every skill to max level. What's intentional? Potion of pickpocketing. That's frustrating. Spiky. That's cool. It's a door puzzle. That's cool. I do like this game's approach to puzzles. You just have to do it really fast, maybe. You can go kill whatever's up here. I think Lydia may have just killed it. She's actually quite useful. Sometimes stands right in front of me and I accidentally, like, zap her, but... The loot's all... There is authored loot in the game, for sure. I've seen some, but it's not all authored, I guess. 231. 23 is number 1. Tried 231. It actually was the correct solution. It's funny. So I have to blitz through it though. You're pretty fast. I wonder if I can send Lydia to hold some of the switches down. I've never tried that. Try doing it from the front. It might not be that there's really a solution. You just gotta hit all the stones. 231 is a reference to Zelda. Ocarina of Time. And to have my run ready. Yeah. In Ocarina of Time, one of the very first puzzles involves a Deku shrub that gives you a clue. You have to kill these Deku shrubs in a certain order. 2, 3, 1. 23 is number 1. I need to put my fire away so I can move slightly faster. Whoa! Hooray! We did it. First try. Here, bullshit nearby. How did you get in here, Lydia? Maybe I opened the door for her on my way out or something. Hey, spiders. Angry mama spider. backpedaling and casting. It's just like Serious Sam. How long is it? I'm going to see if I can find another solution to the unbalanced spreadsheet. The next survey I'm going to ask about removing stale games from the spreadsheet and refunding the SP, since I was able to recover an SP log for all of them. Should clean it up quite a bit. And I can probably also not limit it to short games for quite as long of a time as we did with long games. I have no mods. The only thing I did was I used a console command to basically turn off encumbrance or give myself an arbitrarily high encumbrance limit. So as to avoid wasting time with that.
I've never seen anything quite like that.
That's cool. Probably be a main plus extra thing, Spiky. Under that policy. That's what I have for Skyrim right now. Fail or shoot there. Whoever took the horn. Rent the attic room at the Sleeping Giant Inn in Riverwood and I'll meet you. Interesting. I'm scripted to fail that quest, right? Like there wasn't a way for me to not fail it. That's cool though. Someone already took the horn. Bow of Frost, Iron Sword of Dismay. Cool stuff. Had better loot. It's not authored loot. Sure. Probably just has a, +1 loot, +2 loot number on it, and then determines that based on your progression of the game so far. I wonder if that's based on quests completed, hours elapsed, character level. Taking damage from walking over, stubbing your toe, basically. Put my hands down. I do like the... It's not exactly spiral level design, but the way that there's almost always a shortcut to leave a dungeon. If not always. You don't have to backtrack. Hey, perverse incentives. Okay, let me save and then consider where we want to go here. Huh. We're going pretty far away, huh? Here? So we've been here. Port Riverwood. It wants to stay at the inn. Cool story development, I'll say. Hello?
You're that visitor been poking around. Attic room, eh? Well, we don't have an attic room, but you can have the one on the left. Make yourself at home.
Thanks. No stealing. Let me save before I do this.
So you're the Dragonborn.
Oh, here we
I've been
go. That was
hearing
quick.
so much about. I think you're looking for this.
Late in the dark.
Follow me.
Oh, should she just give me the horn? Because it was a code phrase to ask for an attic room, because no one else would ask for it unless they had seen that note. That's cool. Turn the horn. Miscellaneous, probably. Yeah. What's the Steed Stone? I don't know what that is. Haven't played this before. Like how that's not stealing.
Close the door.
Alright.
Now we can talk.
Cool. That's pretty sweet. That's been here the whole time. Book of the Dragonborn. You gonna read this in front of you?
The Greybeards seem to think you're the Dragonborn. I hope they're right.
You're the one who took the horn?
Surprised? I guess I'm getting pretty good at my harmless innkeeper.
That's pretty sweet. That's really, really cool.
You can't be too careful. Thalmor spies are everywhere.
What do you want?
I didn't go to all this trouble on a whim. I needed to make sure it wasn't a Thalmor trap. I am not your enemy. I already gave you the horn. I'm actually trying to help you. I just need you to hear me out.
Sure.
Like I said in my note, I've heard that you might be Dragonborn. I'm part of a group that's been looking for you. Well, someone like you, for a very long time. If you really are Dragonborn, that is. Before I tell you any more, I need to make sure
Yeah, I know
can
that logo.
trust you.
Logo drop. How do I know I can trust you?
If you don't trust me, you were a fool to walk in here in the first place. I knew the Greybeards would send you there if they thought you were Dragonborn. They're nothing if not predictable. When you showed up here, I knew you were the one the Greybeards sent, and not some Thalmor plant. We remember what most don't, that the Dragonborn is the ultimate dragon slayer. You're the only one that can kill a dragon permanently by devouring its soul.
And normally when you kill a
Can
dragon,
you do
it gets back up or
Can
something?
you devour a dragon's soul?
Yeah, I've done it before. It's pretty tasty.
Good, and you'll have a chance to prove it to me soon enough. We remember what You're the
right.
only one that can kill. I shouldn't let you walk out. I'm part of a group that's been looking for you. Well, someone like you, for a very long time. If you really are Dragonborn, that is. Before I tell you any more, I need to make sure I can trust you.
I'm with you.
Yes, we're very old enemies. And if my suspicions are correct, they might have something to do with the dragons returning. But that isn't important right now. What is important is that
It's
you
not
might
important
be
right
Dragonborn. Dragons aren't just coming back. They're coming back to life. They weren't gone somewhere for all these years. They were dead, killed off centuries ago.
Oh,
by their
that's cool
predecessors.
development. Right on.
Now something's happening to bring them back to life, and I need you to help me stop it.
Sweet.
I know they are.
Yeah, this
I
doesn't
visited
sound
the
that crazy,
ancient
main
burial
character.
mounds and found them empty. And I figured out where the next one will come back to life. We're
Yeah,
going to
thanks,
go
Death
there,
Johnson.
and you're going to kill that dragon. If we succeed, I'll tell you anything you want to know.
How'd you figure this all out?
You should know. You got the map for me. The Dragonstone you got for Farengar, remember? So you were paying attention.
Oh.
I arranged to have
Well,
Farengar
the main
interpret
character was,
Dragonstone
apparently.
for me. It's what I do. I make things happen from behind the scenes. After all, here you are. Yes, a map of ancient dragon burial sites. I've looked at which ones are now empty. The pattern is pretty clear. It seems to be spreading from the southeast, starting in the Gerals near Riften. The one near Kynesgrove is next, if the pattern holds.
Where are we headed?
Kynesgrove. There's an ancient dragon burial near there. If we can get there before...
Ooh, maybe I can get a
maybe
free
we'll
dragon
learn how to
soul.
stop
That'd
it.
be the bee's knees.
I need to get into my traveling gear. Give me a minute and I'll be ready.
Book of the Dragonborn. Try not to read too many books because there's so many, but this seems like it might be a slightly important one, maybe. We've heard the term Dragonborn, of course ruled by the Dragonborn Emperors. True meaning of the term is not commonly understood. For those of us in the Order of Talos, this is a subject near and dear to our hearts. Talos is like the monotheistic deity, but there's also like a polytheistic religion too, right? Remind me of the significance of Talos and the different like nations. I know that there's the Imperials, and then there's people opposed to the Imperials, right? Nightraker. Most scholars agree the term is first used in connection with the Covenant of Akatosh, when the Blessed Saint Alessia, given the Amulet of Kings and the dragon fires in the Temple of the One, were lit. Akatosh, looking with pity upon the plight of men, drew precious blood from his own heart. Saint Alessia, with his blood of dragons, made a covenant that so long as Alessia's generations retreated the dragon blood, Akatosh would endeavor to seal tight the gates of oblivion. Now are the armies of Daedra and undead to their enemies. Oh, okay. Now I'm remembering now, Leon. So, was Talos originally mortal and became a god? Is that part of the stress around it? Which were the rulers of the Empire was us from the beginning. Those of the Dragonblood were able to wear the Amulet of Kings and light the dragon fires. All the legitimate rulers of the Empire have been Dragonborn, the Emperors and Empresses of the first Cyrodiilic Empire founded by Alessia. Okay. Tiber Septim and his heirs, down to the current Emperor. Because of this connection with the Emperors, the other significance of the Dragonborn has been obscured and largely forgotten by all but scholars and those of us dedicated to the service of the Blessed Talos. Mortal human, I see. The elves are pretty racist. This is a really cool setting in Elder Scrolls. It's hard when you're doing what's otherwise pretty standard, like Tolkien-esque fantasy, to differentiate yourself. But it seems like it has some really cool setting stuff that makes it feel different. Kind of skimming here. Okay. Prophecy of the Dragonborn, originated in an Elder Scroll. What are the Elder Scrolls? I thought that was just an arbitrary title. Really important prophecies that are connected to each game. Many have attempted to decipher it, something to do with the gods maybe, and also believe that its omens have been fulfilled in the end, and the last Dragonborn was at hand. Making no claims as an interpreter of prophecy, but does suggest that the true significance of Akatosh's gift to mortal kind is yet to be fully understood. Mortal kind. When Mistral takes its place at the eight corners of the world, when the brass tower walks and time is reshaped, when the thrice blessed fail and the red tower trembles, when the Dragonborn ruler loses his throne and the white tower falls, when the snow tower lies sundered, kingless, bleeding, the world eater awakens, and the wheel turns upon the last Dragonborn. Cool. Take your book.
That's better. Let's get on the road to Kynesgrove.
Yes. Let me loot all your shit first. Oh, one of those counted as stealing. Okay. That's really weird. Must be a Bethesda thing. Have I done much alchemy, or any alchemy? Right, so I get Let me try to remember how this works. When you're doing alchemy, you just try stuff, but if you get something that's actually a real
You just find that
recipe, it
lying
adds it to the
around?
list
Must
on
be
the
your
left.
lucky day.
What's that guy doing down here? Chest, scroll, surge, a shock. Orcish greatsword. Cane enchanter. And these are skills too, right? At some point, I think. You learn the fear enchantment from destroying this item. That's cool. Fortify magic region. Ooh. That's cool. Did I get other... Okay, looks like it's any level of magic region. So I do have the necromancer robes, but I think it treats me as already having that enchantment. Yeah, I want to get all this stuff. That's really exciting. I like learning upgrades like that. Fortify magicka. Fortify conjuration and magicka region. Interesting. You get a fairly decent number of upgrades just from disenchanting, huh? Man, I'm excited to play more of this game just so that I can try to find all the things and disenchant all of it, right? Strength of the enchant is determined by your enchanting skill. It's only 20% faster, 10% faster. I have to give it an item that I want to put this on, I guess. Nord helmet, clothes, cultist mask. I think I'm currently wearing a cultist mask. I see, so it's only 13% right now. What are the different soul gems do? Oh, it changes the value of the magicka region. Interesting. Okay. Gotcha. So let me look at the options for enchanting here, because I'm kind of excited about that. Enchanting. New enchantments are 20% stronger. I have to get this one first, so I may as well do it now. Requires 20, requires 50, 30. Fire enchantments are stronger, armor stronger, health magic cost. Yeah, I think I want to level that up, get up to extra effect, and do that as much as possible. It's very exciting stuff. Let's see. Is when it says 20% in that menu, is that just the highest possible value, or it's an example value? What are the equipment slots in this game too, right? It's like, you have 2 rings, a helmet, armor, weapons, what else? $16.8. What's the silly trick to make ridiculous enchants? Also, how do I get better soul gems again? Rename item. Oops. Oh. It's very flavorful. Use alchemy to make a fortify alchemy potion. I wonder if I can do that now. I'll go check. Drink it and make a better fortify alchemy potion? What are the item requirements to do that? Because I can just dork around with alchemy for a bit. I never got a chance to mess with this earlier. recipe. Any of the following ingredients: blue butterfly wing, which we don't have. Ancestor moth wing, we don't have. Henna, engraven claw. I have that one. Snowberries? Okay, oh, I do have snowberries. Boots too. Okay, thanks, Sornus. That's good to know. I think this is right. You have all those positive feedback loops. Let's try the two I just did and see if that works. Fortify enchanting. I gotta find more items for it. Oh, if it fails, you lose the resources, huh? Okay. Good to know. Doesn't track failed attempts, though, unfortunately. Fortify conjuration. I didn't realize alchemy had its own stat down there too. That's cool. At least when you fail, it still counts. This is also a quick way. Oh, I guess it shows you in gray if it doesn't do anything and you've already tried it. Gotcha. It's good to know. Yep. That's fun. So we would do... This only shows you potions that you currently have the resources to make. Okay, understood. But it'll show you all the potions that you have available ingredients for that you've learned the recipe for, it sounds like. Gotcha. So I can use the... Let's see. Let me save really quick. I can use the Fortify enchantment thing I just made. % stronger, huh? Does that mean I have to craft it really fast? It's kind of goofy if so. Maybe it freezes when I'm in this menu. Neat. Enchanting 30. What a treat. Is there a way to, like, more quickly scroll through this list than just hold the button down? I feel like I need to put, like, a little hashtag in front of the name so that I can scroll to it faster. Equip. Oh, am I only able to rename it when I'm doing the crafting? That's too bad. I was kind of hoping that I could, rename it after the fact so I could find it more easily. Okay. Enchantment. Let's try to do one more. Magic region. Item. Yeah, I don't think I have a way to scroll down this list faster, unfortunately. The other ring. I'm gonna get as much of that as I possibly can. Okay. Items. Apparel. Silver garnet ring. Oh, are you only allowed to have one ring equipped at a time? I thought you could have 2 rings. I'm gonna load my quick save then. Oh, I can't load in this room? Is that all of it? Okay, so I never actually finished crafting. I'll just make one and then maybe I'll make some boots or something. Okay, one more. Boots this time, probably. If I have any sitting around. I don't think I have any boots sitting around that I can enchant. Now, keep an eye out for some later. Oh well. Go ahead and equip that ring. %75 faster, 16% faster. I want to keep doing that until I basically have infinite mana regen. I'm curious though, does mana regen improve the higher your max magicka? Is it based on your total magicka stat, or is it independent from that?
You're not serious. Sure I am.
I assume we're going to get to a point where our regen is so good that max magicka is no longer worth increasing when we level up. But I'm not 100% sure how that works. Whee. It's like an escort mission, but she's escorting me. Surprise wolf. I really like her character. I love that whole... The thing you were looking for is missing, and it tells you to go stay at the inn. Ask for an attic room.
We're not looking for trouble. We need to get to Kynes Grove as fast as we can.
Working on it. Oh, that's cool. You get the little ring on your hand. You really can't wear 2 rings? I feel like you could equip one on the right and one on the left, at least. And technically you should be able to equip 10 rings, but, you know, video games. Hey dude, you seem friendly. I was trying to equip a second one. When I did, it would just replace the one I just had. You equip necklaces count too? Alright, let me try equipping the other one here. It seems to only want me to be able to equip one for whatever reason. Okay, I tried to equip this one too and it won't let me do it. Oh well. But I could do the necklace as well, I guess, next time I get a chance to enchant. Okay, that's good. I think maybe the necklace I had wasn't enchantable from before. Regen continues to take effect even while you're channeling, when you're spending magicka, I assume?
Should have picked somebody else.
Not just when you stop casting. My current region raid seems pretty decent. Yeah, go for it, Lidfix. Thanks for asking.
Good.
Oh, hello.
Use the practice.
Probably don't want to cast fire on that chick. Atronach. What are these things? Just like elementals? Norse elementals? Fire salts. Whoa. Oh, she must blow up when she dies. Guessing what just happened. Witch. Just gonna stand there? Alright, Delphine.
Better to stick together. I don't want you to get yourself killed before we even get there.
Thanks. Oh, there's spells to conjure them, that's cool.
We better keep moving.
That was a circuitous path there, Delphine. Butterfly! I wanted that blue butterfly. I think that gets me more of the fortify enchant potions. What's your life plan here? I think I know exactly what that image is. It is. Right. 10 rings, come on, game.
Remember, we're not looking for trouble. We need to get to Kynes Grove as fast as we can.
You keep saying that, and yet I fear trouble's going to find us.
This is a notorious bandit hideout, but it's also the shortest way to Kynes Grove, so you may have to kill a few bandits.
Okay. I think I've actually killed the bandits here before. I'm pretty sure I've been here before. Yeah, this was the same place. It's interesting they didn't respawn for this mission. Wonder if, like, this wasn't a path I needed to take last time?
We'll find out soon enough.
So the fact that I can do the dragon shouts isn't, like, 100% confirmation that I am dragonborn, right? Because the Greybeards can do shouts too, and I guess they don't... They spend their whole lives training to do it, and I can do it quickly by using dragon souls or something like that.
We may both end up dead, but at least it gets me out of Riverwood. I don't really think I'm cut out for the quiet life.
Who's running your inn?
Whoa!
Excited to get a more powerful machine. Probably be a couple more months of Patreon saving. Help with the kind of janky frame rate I'm getting in Skyrim right now. Runs beautifully if I don't have OBS running at the same time. Thought they maybe have established that a little bit earlier in the game. But thanks for not spoiling it, Towhead. shouting definitely isn't a unique power of the
Want you to get
Dragonborn,
yourself killed
right?
before we even get there.
Dragonborn is a unique individual as far as it's been established in the story up to this point.
Remember, we're not looking for trouble. We need to
If we're
get
not
to
looking for
Pines
trouble,
Grove
we're
as
just
fast as we
gonna
can.
walk in the river. Quick second. Does this quest work if you've already been to the place that we're going to and try to like quick travel there, or are you meant to follow her the whole way there?
We'll cross the White River and follow it to Windhelm. Then we can swing south to Pines Grove.
Sure. Gathering moss. Should have been doing this earlier in the game. I don't think I even noticed all the things you can gather. Yeah, but suppose I had already been to this place and the story had me following her. Could I just fast travel there and she would be there already? Or am I meant to follow her regardless? Because I could have just gone to that town and gotten a fast travel location, right? You're an interesting one there. Curious life decisions.
If you know any true sons and daughters of Skyrim, tell them to head to Windhelm. Ulfric Stormcloak wants to see them.
She would be there already? That's cool. This is a way to ensure you get there. And I guess I just picked up a quest from overhearing some guards talking.
I doubt the Thalmor are aware of you yet, so we should be safe from them at least.
I mean, what are the Thalmor? Is that something I should know from just the Elder Scrolls series in general? I remember them detailing who they are earlier in this game, but it's been a while since we played it last.
Should have picked somebody else.
It's a saber-toothed tiger. Ooh, she's pretty buff too. That went well. Suppose there's an enemy in the game. Let me see if I can phrase this question correctly. So the way that destruction magic levels up, is it a function of how long you're simply holding down the button and actively damaging something, or is it based on like amount of damage dealt, efficacy of damage dealt? I'm wondering if you can find an enemy that has a ton of hit points and is really resistant to fire, and if you'll get more experience by taking forever to kill it with a long fire channel versus killing it more quickly with an ice channel, right? Like, they both would level up your destruction. I'm curious if one would be faster than the other.
I'm glad you were willing to trust me. I know it probably wasn't the best way to introduce myself.
Thalmor are the Elvish Inquisition that enforced their version of the Divines in the Empire they won. Oh, okay. My existence is heretical. They're trying to enforce disbelief in Talos as a divine entity. Is that true? See why they wouldn't want me to be around. Some dude just hanging out here. What's that all about?
Nords are so serious about
Liar.
beards. So many beards. Maik thinks they wish they had glorious manes like Khajiit. Maik is very practical. He has no need for mysticism. Maik is tired now. Go bother somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone would know the answer to that. Like, how ranking up works in this game. If it's ticking up, how the level up ticks work, right? Clearly there's some experience point system happening behind the scenes whenever you're casting actively. And that brings us to time for Skyrim for today, so we'll go ahead and save. Let me make a note in the live split timer for when we play it next time to continue following this NPC so we don't get lost. Follow. Cool. Yep. And we're going to switch to Xenosaga Episode 1. Skyrim will return, provided Knight keeps it on his subblock, and I'm sure that this is going to make it on the voting spreadsheet for a full playthrough at some point as well. But I'm really enjoying Skyrim so far. This game's fun. I'll probably actually pick it up for the Switch once we beat it on stream and play it more casually when I'm traveling and that sort of thing.